I thought it might be interesting for you guys to come along on a real life photo shoot with me. I'm here at the Thatched Cottage restaurant in Brockenhurst, which has a fabulous reputation for sourcing and cooking locally produced seasonal produce. Cooking with integrity, they call it. Their head chef is 24-year-old Tom Holliday, and that makes him one of the youngest head chefs in the country. So all in all, this is a little bit special, and it's background information I've looked at to make sure that I can kind of try and achieve what it is that they want to get that into the photos. So let's go in and get going. Hello Martin.
Hi there, good morning. How are you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm fantastic, thank you.
Brilliant, nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
How would you like to begin?
I think it's the right time of day to start with a good cooked breakfast.
Okay.
Using local produce.
Okay, all right. So if we do a breakfast, could you set the table up as it would be for real for a breakfast, even though, you know, we toast and everything, because even if we don't actually see all of that as a table, just having it as the environment the food's in, it kind of puts it in its right place.
Yes, I think that'd be perfect.
Is that okay?
Yes.
Brilliant. Thanks. I'll carry on getting my bits and pieces set up. Thank you. All this is quite important. If you just whack some food on the table and take a picture of it, well, okay, you might have a nicely exposed, probably beautifully composed picture of some food. But this is all about trying to get that kind of warmth, the environment, trying to sort of, you know, the feeling of this would be a great place to sit and have breakfast. Now, these shots are all about the food, and that's what we're going to concentrate on. However, if you were having breakfast, there would be a rack with some bits of toast, wouldn't there? There'd probably be, you know, a bit of butter on a piece of toast, things like that. It just kind of makes it real rather than too staged. Also, I prefer to shoot the food for real, rather than, you know, you could of course get a stylist in who does all sorts of weird things, but and they're very talented weird things, it must be said, but I think it's much nicer to try and shoot the food for real. So we're going to do it in stages. We're going to sort of like have a dish out, photograph it, remove it, and bring out another one a bit later. And all this was pre-arranged in an earlier meeting that I had. Getting ready. Now, first thing I always do on any shoot is make sure my lenses are lovely and clean, because, you know, if there's dirt and bits on there, you won't get very bright pictures. That's actually spotless. So that's pretty good. Brownie point to Browne. The other thing I want to do before we begin is to look at the light. Somewhere here, I'm hoping I've got a white balance card. I have, good. I'm going to be shooting RAW, because then I can colour correct exactly in my RAW processor. But the first thing I have to do is to make sure I know what white looks like, so that I can tell the RAW processor this is white in the light that I'm photographing in. So the way I would go about that is simply to take a picture of my white card. Hang on a minute, because I'm a bloke I can't talk and do two things at once. Here we go, I'm just checking. So white balance I'm just going to set onto daylight, because we're predominantly in daylight. There's a video light up here which is daylight balanced, which is just kind of really there so that you can see me if I'm over there, because there's a big difference in the light between here and over there. I've chosen this spot because we've got daylight coming in through this, I don't know what you call it, window in the roof, which is coming down here. We've also got daylight coming in from the side, so we've got a great little pool of light on this corner, and I haven't got to mess around too much with setting up lights. I'm a bit lazy, but to be honest with you, natural light I always think is much better. Now I'm going to white balance for that natural light. So I'm just going to put my white balance card there, because I know that it's white, and take a picture of it on the table. That's all I have to do. It doesn't have to be in focus or anything. It's just a shot of a white balance card, which I will use to tell the computer this is white in that light. And I've just noticed, I'm going to do it from over here. Just now I was standing in the door and I would be blocking my own light, so I'm going to do it from over here and delete the first one. Come on camera, here we go. There we go, job done. So now we're all ready. It's just a case of getting the table set up. Martin's just brought out some yoghurt and strawberries which look amazing. I'm just playing to see how that works, what it could look like. Yeah, it's quite interesting. I'm going to end up going outdoors and everything, because I like the light. Oh, that has some great possibilities. Right, okay. I'm going to go for a shot of that. But I'm going to be in the garden, photographing back in, I think. I'll probably end up moving things around as we go. I'm actually going to move the table because I want to get a bit more table behind the food. So. Hope I don't break anything. There we go. That's better. That's better. And I would probably put this in here. So there's a bit of croissantiness going on in the background. Toast over there maybe. We've got a table decoration, jug, plate. There we go. Yeah, that's starting to look quite... There we go. That would be that way around, wouldn't it? So let's see what we can do with this. I don't want the background too busy, so I'm going to use a very wide aperture. My ISO I want as low as possible because I want the best colour, saturation and all that stuff. I'm going to shoot in manual mode for this because it's proper commercial stuff. I can, you know, take a few moments. I'm going to chase around running after people or anything. I've got a bit of time to do my shots. Nothing's moving, so it doesn't matter if I'm using a slow exposure because the camera's on a tripod and I can just shoot it. Now let's see what we can do. Let's find the shot. Let's just have a look. Let's get the lens long. I'm using a long lens with a wide aperture because that will sort of blur the background and give me what I'm looking for. Move back a bit. Here we go. Now that's starting to look pretty good. But I need to make a couple of adjustments. The first one is the lock on my tripod because the camera's moving. There we go. Now then, let's get this shot locked off. Zoomed in. Nice, nice, nice. But I do want to move a couple of things around. The sugar bowl is a bit dominant, so I'm just going to move that over there. I would like some croissant in the background, maybe a little bit of this. I think they were kind of, how do we do it? Something like that, maybe. I'm not a chef, so... I can't balance croissants. There we go. Mike Browne, croissant balancer. Trying to get crumbs on the table because we want it all to look pretty and nice. I think that's good. I think some toast over there. So I'm kind of looking through this tunnel here. We've got a little bit of the edge of the sugar bowl. We've got a bit of croissant going on there. Hopefully that should rock. Now, that's better. I'm actually going to go a little lower. Bend your knees when you're doing things. There we go. This takes time. This isn't... And also tiny movements. If I look at the... I'll take a quick shot. If I can get my camera level. There is a lot of fiddle and a lot of faff to do with this stuff. Here we are. Now we go. See, if I take a shot from here, I take a quick test shot. Digital is great for this because it really doesn't matter how many shots you take if you don't want them, because you can always throw them away. I like that actually. It's a good breakfasty thing, but let's get in for another angle on it while I'm waiting. When I do this sort of thing, I tend to use autofocus because I know it's very accurate. And once the camera's focused, I flick it onto manual. So then no matter what I do, nothing's going to change. It's not going to move the focus. So I know the focus is locked. And let's take that one. Then I'm going to crack into the breakfast. If I get a knife and fork out, I could put my weight back on and everything. Yeah, that one's a little bit too busy. The other shot was definitely better. Anyway, I've now got to work on the cooked. Let's find the shots. The way I like to work is to take the camera off the tripod and move around the food and see what we've got. I will probably try for something looking down, but I also want something looking across. I'm also going to have to move some furniture so I can get at things. Oh, I'm worried about that. It's very, very fragile. I don't want to break it. Bambi. Let's see what we've got here. So we had croissants and yogurt, and now the thing that's going to work with this is probably going to be more the toast. So let's turn that slightly like that and just see if it will work from here. I think it probably will. Move that over there. See where we can get to. put the focus back on. Too low an angle, that's not. Ooh. Just stood up and bashed my head on the. Oh, God, that was worrying. Come in here and trash the place. I'm going to have to turn the table around because I can't get far enough away. I'm using the long lens because I want to isolate the food. So I'm going to turn the table again. There we go, that's better. So I can get outside the door. I might do some from over there later, but here we go. Some of that. I don't want croissant on this. That's good, that's good. We're coming on. Butter, 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 butter. Tom? Tom? Sorry, you got some butter? Pardon? Butter. Butter? Butter, but as per would go on the table. Thanks. I'll have to introduce you to Tom in a minute. The reason I want some butter is I want to put a piece of buttered toast on there because that's how it would be, you know, a nice something like that. Meanwhile, let's carry on trying to find the shot. Make it all pretty. Thomas? Tom? The youngest, one of the youngest head chefs in the country. Thanks, mate. Right. Okay, let's get this butter in here. I want butter and toast. I might not put it on the toast, but I want to create a relationship with the toast. The other thing that seems to be... Yeah, that'd be all right. Okay, back outside the door. How's our shot looking? Oh, that's better. Right, so I'm going to do one from out there. That's better. We've got toast in the corner. Right, I'm going to decrease my aperture slightly. I want it a little bit smaller because I want a little bit more depth of field. We've got a wider product. The plate is sort of this wide, whereas the yoghurt was more like that wide. Here we go. See what we can do. Check the depth of field. I want a bit more. That should be okay. There we go. And slow down the shutter speed to make up for the smaller aperture because there's less light going in. I need a longer shutter speed. Press the button and wait for the magic to happen. Yummy. What I want to do is go for a real close-up of the food on the plate. Well, in a studio you'd have a camera way up in the air on a gantry. I haven't got that, but I have got the floor. And we've got a nice kind of side light coming in from over here. You're thinking, what the hell is he doing? This is what I call guerrilla photography, making stuff up as you go along. And of course it may or may not work, but I'm not afraid to give it a lash. So if I can zoom into the plate, which I can't with that lens from here. So, two cameras, identical bodies, identical settings, just different lenses. So much quicker than changing lens. Let's see what we can do with this one. Right, we're getting there, but we're not there yet. Oh, that's rather nice. But we're not ready. I can't focus quite that close, so I've got to lift the camera up. So until I can. The reason I like my Bembo tripod is that I haven't got lots of clips on the legs. It's a bit quicker to work with. Right now. Oh, that's better. Also, oh, I like that. Oh, look, right in close. I'm going to move the camera. This is going for a tiny mushroom and sausage close-up with a little bit of egg in the corner. There we go, lovely light. Check the exposure. Underexposed horribly, that is. I'm going to decrease the aperture a bit. Go to about f11. So I want a bit more depth of field, because as I've got closer, the depth of field has shrunk. Oh, getting hot. It's all the excitement. That looks really good. Let's just into there, like that. Check it. Looks good. Self timer. Leave the camera alone. You'd never think that was taken on the floor, would you?